and deliver our work. So I love this. I love this. So Lydia, you are in Canada right now, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So how have you, and I love that you created your business in 2020. I mean, this is where we've created a lot of things. We postponed some publishings that we're doing and everything. There were challenges, but tell us, how was it for you, as an example for many people here, to create a business in the midst of the pandemic, in the midst of being in Canada, which is one of the countries, in my opinion, that was one of the most, if not the most restricted throughout the process. And in the midst of that, you birthed Limitless. So, I mean, tell me about that a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. So you're right. But what I learned is, in life, focus on things you have control over. Because before, when I used to focus on things I don't have control over, that's when I went into the deep black hole, and that's how I lost myself. Because that's when you get consumed with worry, with anxiety, with fear, and you end up living in your head instead of living in the now, which we talked about at the beginning of the podcast. So what I decided to do, I was like, okay, this is the situation. There are these restrictions, but what do I have available? What can I use? Okay, I have my laptop. I have a million connections online. You can join groups, you can join whatever you want, right? So that's the world that I was in, and that's what I had control over. And then what I did was I set up a game plan for myself to execute on my goal. And again, it wasn't easy, but I had a vision, I had a mission. It was very challenging. And my main message here for anyone that's struggling or looking to do something outside of the box, or there are restrictions or situations, as I call them in life, focus on you, because you can only control you. You can't control other people, outside factors, the weather, COVID, nothing, right? So control what you have. And then if you need help, for example, me with investing into mentors and courses and things like that, then get other people who know skills that can help you with what you are not able to do, right? There are always options. You just gotta be open to feedback and open to that creative energy. But it does take certain practices and tools, which I do share in my coaching programs, because that's how you attain the limitless mindset. You gotta know the tools that you use, but that's a whole different story. But that's basically to keep it simple.
Yeah, you gotta build. You gotta build the skills, and I love what you're sharing. I love what you're sharing, because you remind me of Nelson Mandela. And I'm not sure, Lydia, if you know the story of Nelson Mandela, right? That he was imprisoned unjustly for 20 years. But, I was in a platinum coaching with Tony Robbins, and he always used to share this story that he got to interview Nelson Mandela when he came out of prison. And when he came out, Tony Robbins, being Tony Robbins, the fiery, passionate Mr. Mandela, he asked, how did it feel to be in prison for 20 years unjustly? And he said that Nelson Mandela looked at him like pissed off. And he said, young man, you offend me. I was not in prison for 20 years. I was studying the behaviors of my fellow human beings. Look at the in prison, 20 years, unjustly. That's a mindset mega hack. That's some limitless mindset that instead of, and that's mega restriction, right? That's more than pandemic. That's really where you can, you don't have internet, you have nothing, but you have the resources of your mind. You have the resources of your spirit, and anybody can be free within, even if you are trapped without. So I love that you have this awareness, Lydia, and that you bring this into the offering of your, into your offerings of your gifts to the world, because more than ever, I believe that what you're offering, the limitless mindset, and also the integrity, how you do things, Lydia, because a lot of people are offering mindset, but the integrity is not there. I have had to let go of a lot of people that they were really kind, they were really prepared, they were really awesome and really skilled, but they had other businesses and they were making other people lose money, or I can't, So I appreciate that you are doing things right. And even though it's challenging, you are doing the work. So tell me what has been one of the most beneficial things for you as you deliver this training to others, as you offer the limitless mindset, as you have this kind of global mission to restore the limitless awareness, like I have a global mission to restore self-faith in every, I would love to see every single human being beyond religion restore the power of self-faith and recognize that that's true spirituality right there. But you are restoring limitless mindset. So what are the benefits that this has bring to you and maybe to some of your clients, if you can share with us?
For sure. So for me, it started with me being unapologetically authentic, because my three core values are unapologetically authentic, dedicated, and fierce, right? And when you really step into that power of your energy, because we're all unique, right? It's a whole different vibe, energy, and what you attract to you, right? And then with my clients, it's that same idea. It's that same thing that happens. It's finding those blind spots, whatever is holding them back, giving them the tools, and they run the show, right? I'm not telling them what to do. They do what they want to do, how they want to do it. But I'm the one who's just a guiding hand there, you know? I'm their partner along the way, and we can bounce ideas off of each other. I can hold them accountable, whatever they need. But it's really giving them those tools so that they attain the limitless mindset, the magnetic presence, and with that they achieve outstanding results, right? It's that mindset and action flow. Because mindset is one thing, our thoughts are very
Mm.
important, but if we don't execute, it's zero. It's just an idea, right? But if we
Yeah.
put that mindset into motion, momentum, which is the fierce, then you lead with that. And that's really been the main breakthrough. And majority of my clientele are women. I've served some male clients as well, but it's really fueling that power within, getting back that spark, and taking charge of your life. And that's
Mm.
really what's been the biggest feedback that I've been getting. And that's what fuels me. You know me, I just love
Yes.
empowering others. It's not limitless energy. It's just like it fuels me. I can't even describe it, but it's such a beautiful feeling. And when I see my clients, when I see that spark in their eye through Zoom on the camera, when they have the aha moment,
Mm.
that's what I do, why I do it. And when I'm tired and uncomfortable, I'm like, Lydia, you got to do this. It's a whole movement. And I keep going. And that's what keeps me fueled.
Mm.
So it's really just them taking their own power back and leading with what they already knew they had within, but they just lost it for whatever reason.
Yeah, and you mentioned something that is very important, the word action. And I'm a believer, well, and it has to be very specific actions, right? Because anybody can take action. A dog takes action chasing its tail, but it doesn't get him anywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
I like the part of planning, of strategy, but also of trusting yourself. You got to know who you are to take very specific strategic actions. Because if I review my past, the past for me is a place of reference, not a place of residence, but it's where I want to learn. What worked, do it more. What didn't work, I don't do it, hopefully. And then, but I want to not do the actions that are not necessary, that don't lead me to the results I want. And so I like that you bring the planning. I like that you bring the action, but I also like that you bring the strategy by helping people help themselves and recover who they are, just knowing who they are. Because if not, the actions are going to be like chasing a tail. That's why we repeat patterns, repeat the same things. And that's where I'm going to begin to ask about soul. So in all of this journey of mindset, and I love the mind, because for me everything is spiritual. The more mastery of our mind we have, the more we know ourselves, the more we embody the core values that we came here to live. I believe we become cleaner containers for what is called illuminating experiences, for these experiences that you begin to become such a magnetic leader, example, force, that just by your presence, people begin to transform, not because of you, but because they begin to feel the resonant frequency, right? Your vibration, your vibes, your focus, your commitment. There's a energy that is generated from such people. It's called magnetism and power, that people begin to be invited for change. So I want you to share with us what, if of all of this, you already shared it, but I want to bring it to this word. Like, what would you think is the soul of your work?
The soul of my
The
work?
soul, the part of spirit, the part that fuels the mind. What will be, and you said it a little bit right now, you said that you get inspired by the changes, the phases on when there's a transformation, but what will be that really brings is the spirit, the unseen. Not Mr. Grover calls it the dark side, right? Is the unseen, the God energy, the energy that we cannot pinpoint and put words into it. But so what is like the soul of your work, the what, spiritually wise, how is this impacting you and others? What would you say, just if you give it a shot, like wow.
I'll explain it, and it might
Hmm.
sound confusing, but I'll try to make it simple. So it's a combination, okay?
Yes.
It's creativity. So it's combined with my inner child and my tiger. So it's a combination of the two. And the reason is when you tap into your inner child energy, it's playful, it's light, it's joy, right? That allows you to be free, to stop the overthinking and conquer fear and overwhelm and all of that, right? And then the tiger, I will just touch on it for a minute. Tiger is a part of me and what I teach with my clients as your avatar, alter ego, whatever you want to call it. Because what I've learned about a tiger, because it kept showing up for me, and I was like, why is this wildcat interesting to me? Each tiger has their own stripes, okay? So they're just like our fingerprints, so it makes them so unique. And I see myself each as a unique tiger because we all bring our unique gifts to this world, each one of us, right? So then it's really utilizing that creative inner child energy combined with this fear fueling, powerful momentum flow of a tiger by you being your unique self, right? So that combination to me is limitless if you know how to use it in the right ways to fuel yourself, right?
Mm.
So, with all the tools I give and the challenges and what I do in my coaching programs, each person's able to tap into their own, I call it the limitless tigress for the women, right? So, you fuel your own fire within, and you are better prepared to know when to jump and when to stay calm. Because if you think of the tiger or tigress, they can be playful, they can be calm, just sitting, relaxing, or they go in for the kill. So if you learn how to use those tools effectively, you are limitless. You essentially build the limitless mindset. You lead with your presence. You attract the right opportunities and success to you. And all the little pieces of the puzzle start to line up in the way it's meant for you. And that's really what it is.
I love it, and this is in Chinese, in China. This is the year of the tiger, so
I know, yeah. That's
it
true.
just it matches. I love it because
Mhm.
in systemic work or Carl Jungian, Freudian work, psychological work. When you mention the inner child, that represents also the soul. So,
Mhm.
that's a beautiful explanation. I think you were more clear than my question itself. You really showed us, because this is really where the limitless comes from. When we were children, there was no limit until someone told us you can't,
Right.
right? There was
Mhm.
no fear until someone told us be careful instead of be attentive. So our amygdala and our brain components began to be trained to survival, and we began to be trained that there's something scary out there and it's coming to get you. So I
Mhm.
love how you have kind of not tame but master and train the inner tigress
Mhm.
to keep, like, I had this vision of the little child of little Lydia, uh, on top of the tiger running free
Oh, I
in
like
the
that.
wild. I just had that vision. So I
Mhm.
love this so much. This is actually pure awareness and pure wisdom. So Lydia, tell us a little bit, how what's in the future for Limitless. I know, and we're going to share again everything, your website, your social media channels.
Mhm.
What are you currently doing with Limitless, and where do you want to go with this movement and service?
So as always, I have my one-on-one coaching programs that I do, and that's on my website, social media, and all of that. But what I'm really excited about is my current project that's I'm actually sharing with you first. It's not even on my social media yet, but it will be soon. I'm launching my own app. And this app is still Limitless with Lydia. It's specifically for female entrepreneurs and creatives. And there's been a huge ask on killer confidence, how to attain that killer confidence and laser focus. And that's really what this app, that's the next movement, in addition, obviously, to my one-on-one coaching.